Not sure what's going on. I just want to go live. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's see what picture we have here. See if the camera's keeping up. Doesn't necessarily seem to be. Let's turn on some lights. See if that helps us a little bit. Let there be lights. Let there be. Good morning, everybody. We're going live. We're going to try to at least. We're going to talk about the blood that was in the market yesterday. Not the blood that Jesus shed, but the blood that those tech stocks shed yesterday. Oh, my goodness. Woke up in the morning. Just didn't want to quit. I saw a post, though, that said the market or the tech stocks lost 1.1 trillion in gains yesterday. Like in yesterday, 1.1 trillion dollars in gains they lost yesterday. That's a whole heck of a lot. A whole heck of a lot. Good morning, everybody. I sure hope you all are doing well. It is Thursday morning. Yes, it's Thursday morning. Thursday morning. So anyway, the VIX rose on up yesterday. It's at 14.5 this morning, 14.5. It's up 0.14% or 0.02. It was 1250, I said yesterday when we had our call, it was 12.5 yesterday, but now it's in the 14s. It's a little bit of rising on. I'm just going to give you fair warning that my computer this morning is like taking its penny little time. I have some Mac Mac minis or something like that. Those are the computers that I have, and I need to go and get them upgraded so I can have more memory. But I went to the place like what I called U-Break I Fix, which is where they've worked on some other my Apple products. But I told them I wanted to see about upgrading my computers and get more memory and stuff. And I said, but I don't want y'all to do some work and then nullify my Apple Care. The dude was like, no, I don't think it will. Then I was like, but what if something goes wrong? He was like, well, just go to Apple. Yeah. I need you to have either some strong conviction in your stuff or send me where I need to go. Don't be trying to say, well, we probably could. No, and no. Yeah. So I'm going to have to make an appointment at the Apple store, which y'all already know. If you got an Apple product, y'all already know that's like going into the lion's den. So I have to do that. Anyway, that's what's going on with the computer. Small caps breakout brings everything rally to mind. IWM has been, well, yesterday it kind of chilled out a bit. It didn't do a whole lot yesterday. It kind of sat still and let my iron condor be profitable for once, but it had been breaching all the other days. NASDAQ futures dig out a route at TSMC shines. I sure hope Taiwan Semiconductor comes on and gives a good run. Why NVIDIA, ASML, and TSMC stocks got hammered. Trump is starting to move all kinds of markets. It's a year of haves or have-nots for home builders. Okay, that's what's going on over there. Let's see what's going on CNBC. NASDAQ futures rise as benchmark tries to rebound from the worst day since 2022. I mean, it was bloody. Can Boeing get back to its glory days? I'm not sure. Boeing, just from an airplane standpoint, the thing is Boeing has so many other things that it does that is not getting talked about, but all we, of course, know Boeing for is airplanes. They got other things they're doing. But anyway, good morning, Tanya. Hi, Saida. Jamie says Janae is still asleep. No, Janae says she's here. And there she is. She came and joined us. She woke up just in time. Ford is going to spend $3 billion to expand the large truck production to a plant previously set for EVs. You know, this is telling. There for a while there, everything was EV, and then now it's kind of like that's on the hush, and people are just going on about regular work. It was like you need to have. We're going to do completely EV by 2026 and whatever. And now it's kind of like not so much. I know Ford didn't really have a good run as far as bringing out their electric truck. It took a minute if they ever got them out. Thursday's analyst calls the Gap gets an upgrade. Gap as a stock. We can look at Gap. Let's see if it's got any opportunities for us today and tomorrow. Beauty stock to pop near 35%. So what beauty stock? Ulta maybe? Because Gap is not a beauty stock. Bye-bye Bitcoin. Hello AI. JD Vance blames U.S. wage losses on China's effort to build its middle class. Okay, what that got to do with us? Anyway, people be steady ready, try to put somebody else responsible. TSMC second quarter profit beat expectations as AI chip boom continues. Education Department is going to forgive 1.2 billion in student debt. I need them to add me to the list. I don't seem to have been added to the list yet. They're overlooking me, and I'm listen, Lord, don't let them overlook your daughter. Don't let them overlook your daughter. Looking here for the biggest movers, but I'm not seeing any. United Airlines profit jumps 23%, but third quarter forecast disappoints. That's one of the earnings ones we had. I don't know why I'm not seeing that biggest movers, and maybe it's because I'm coming to look too early. Today is Thursday. Let's refresh this so we can see what was the unemployment claims. Oh, they thought we were going to have 229,000 unemployment claims. We had 243,000. This is no bueno. The Philly Fed, which is an orange, 13.9, thought it was going to be 2.7. So they're seeing that as green. 10 o'clock, we got CB leading index, natural gas storage, FOMC member Logan will speak at 1:45. Tick long-term purchases at 4 o'clock. This is all stuff that's after the market closes. I think the most important thing to look at here is unemployment claims at 243,000. That's the biggest thing going on there. All right, let's look at SPX 500 to see what's going on since we had if you want to, maybe you don't want to. There we go. Come on in the room. I need you to move on up here. We're on the 5-minute chart, and this is SPX. Wasn't no big, huge move as a result of the unemployment information. Looks like we've got a climb coming. A climb. We will take it. We will take it. We're going to look at Taiwan Semiconductors real quick. Then we'll go look at Adams numbers. Taiwan Semiconductors had this was yesterday. Basically, it dropped here. Now I'm looking because I need Taiwan Semiconductors to come back. My trade is at jeopardy. I have 175, 177.5, which is right now basically fully breached. Current price is at 174, 175. So we're coming back up. Come on up. Come on up. Let me go to extended trading hour so I can see some more data. There we go. Need to be able to see some stuff that's promising. Yes, come on, Taiwan Semiconductors. You can do it. You can do it. Look at the bottom of the page. Okay, did I take CNBC off? At the bottom of the page. Boop, 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 boop. I'm at the bottom of the page. I'm at the bottom of the page. I don't see biggest moves. I don't see biggest moves. I'm at the bottom of the page. Give me a link because I don't see it. Maybe I'm overlooking. I'm moving kind of fast. I know C. Okay. Let's look at what you know I'll sing a song for everything. I got a song for one. Here you go. I wrote a song about it. Well, here you go. Okay, so Thursday, this morning, Taiwan Semiconductors, Nokia, Cintas, Centis, Domino's Pizza, D.R. Horton, Abbott, Blackstone Group, Infosys, KeyBank, and Marsh McLennan. Sorry, I always say that, McLennan. Ooh, but this new Netflix is having earnings. I really need Netflix to like pop like it has done in the past. You know, but one year they had the Netflix and it had a big old red going down. And the next year it was a green one. I need this next one to be a green one because my little put credit spread that I rolled from last week needs a pop going upwards this time. Come on, Netflix, you can do it. Intuitive, PPG. Ocean First is all after AAR. These are all aftermarket today. Alpine, RGP. Scholastic is going to have earnings. Metropolitan Commercial Bank, SB Bank, SB Financial. Those are the ones that are going to have earnings this afternoon after the market closes. Okay, let's look at what Adam had to say. Good overnight pop. Yesterday, SPX lost the 56.18 key support, 55.96, and then 55.80 were sell targets as posted, with 55.80 being the relief bounce zone back to 56.10s. Oh, I didn't know I put that there twice. We bounced to 56.10s and dipped. Dip, baby, dip. 55.80 to 84 is weak, and 55.96 supports. It keeps 56.07, 56.16 to 18 alive. If 55.80 fails, then we're going to sell to 55.69 and 55.61. There is a 50-point gap between ES and SPX for those who are watching Adam but trading SPX. You need to know that there's a 50-point gap. Jamie says Boeing needs to stop making planes with Mr. Potato Head parts. Well, Boeing is very well known for their planes, so they can't like literally stop making planes, but they need to make planes that are going to do. Listen, a lot of stuff we ride, no, anytime you hop on a plane, you definitely going back with a Boeing almost every time. There is no getting around that. I ain't talked about, but you pretty much are getting on a Boeing plane anytime you hop on a plane. Alrighty, so credit spreads masterclass is coming up next Saturday. I'm getting ready to talk about some credit spreads here in a minute. I got some stocks to look at. If you want something to looked at, put it in the chat. But our masterclass is next Saturday. You need to go ahead and get registered. We're going to learn how to use credit spreads to make consistent profits without having to watch your trades all day, right? Without having to watch them all day. Here we go. Let's go on back to, I will go here, but then I will turn on. Okay, so you have basically closed down. This is not what I wanted you to do. I want semiconductors off. I'm going to take these off, but it'll slow down the progress of my computer. That may take a minute. I probably should have left that open while I was getting Thinkorswim back on board, because Thinkorswim can just take their penny little time at times and be like, did you find the thing, Janae? Morning. Hey, Tamar. Hey, we've missed you too. Welcome back. Thinkorswim, I think it's going to try to open, but y'all know how that goes. Okay, so who had some trades that they had yesterday that they that they're like, no, probably everybody, right? Everybody, because I had Taiwan Semiconductors, Micron. What else do I have? Oh, my Carvana trade closed with no problems a couple days ago, actually. And then I didn't get into any trend spreads yesterday. I got into trend spreads on Monday with the thought of having them go till Friday. But I did notice yesterday that I had said before that on the peak bot alerts on Wednesday, they was giving you next week's expiration, and that's not what happened. Yesterday, they still gave this week's expiration. So from Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all the way up, they do the same week, all the way up to Wednesday. On Thursday, though, which will be today, it starts to give. It's going to start to give next week's expiration for those trend spreads. Speaking of trend spreads, the trend spread bot, the one where you can use the automated bot on PeakBot, where you can use the automated bot. That is okay. I like this, but I need to get it to the right screen. Here we go. Maybe we'll share again. I'll bring this to. Hold on. Let me move stuff around. Okay, this should go there too, but that's not what I wanted on the top. Here we go. Maybe. Here we are. I use PeakBot as our automated seller. PeakBot has automated selling on the wheel strategy, if you want to do the wheel, which really is put credit spreads. It has now a new trend spread bot that is alive. Now, so if you're getting the alerts, I've talked about a few days, those alerts. If you're getting the alerts, those alerts are looking at, are kind of the same thing from the trend spreads. The only thing with the alerts is you have to enter those manually. On the alerts, you're entering for yourself. On the trend spread bot, though, you can select the stock you want, select the stock you want, not the strike. Select the stock you want, and the bot will automatically enter it when it's time, and it will exit it when it's time. So it's hands-free for you, right? You pick the stock, though. You pick the stock, and if you're a member of Schwab or Trader or Tasty Trades, Tasty Works, Tasty Trades, then it will do that. The bot, you need one of those three places in order to connect with the automated bot. Otherwise, you need to keep using the alerts. But the trend spread bot was in beta testing. I really like it. I've used it for, oh my goodness, several months. I was one of the beta testers, and I use TQQQ, which has paid returns every week. Not TQQQ as of yesterday is struggling a bit because of everybody's drop baby yesterday. So my TQQQ from this week's trade has got some issues we're going to work through. We going to work through them though. And, but consider that. Use PeakBot. Let me put the link in the chat for automated trading. And this is great for people like me and some others who are teachers or whatever and can't watch your trades all day or don't want to or can't watch to enter. You can set PeakBot and set it up on those, either the iron condors or the trend spreads, and you can have it do the work for you. And all you do is come back and look at it later. What I do when I'm doing these is I basically come back in after it's entered. I come back in to put in the exit or the close order. That's all I do. I put in the close order. That's how I work that. Okay. All righty. So anyway, it says here, the trend spread watch list is now available for automation subscribers. And it's based on expected value. So it's in order, that whole listing that comes on the alerts. It's based on expected value, which is basically believing that the more trades there are, series of trades, it's going to be a higher estimated average outcome if you've done a series of trades over time. All right. So that is available now to you. Available now to you. This is, where are we and what are we going to look at? Tanya said her Amazon trade is at her strike. Amazon is at my strike. Thank you, Tamara. I'm glad you keeping up with us, even if you can't be live with us, that you're still hanging out. Come checking our sessions afterwards, enjoying the silliness that is our Lissa. Oh, who am I? Shalmo XOM. How about we just go with that? I'm not sure who those other people are. This is XOM. Someone put this in the chat. Who asked for XOM? Triple Q, I see there. Please look at Pan W. Okay. Is it Tamar or Tamar? Which one? How do you pronounce it? Tamar, or long A? Tamar. I want to make sure I say your name correctly. All right, this is Exxon. Exxon has a gap down here. Why did it that those gaps? I used to never look at gaps, and now it's like that's the first thing my eyes will go to is the gaps. This gap has been partially filled, but not all the way. For support and resistance, there is some support. Oh, come on, let's move. There we go. There's some support at 115.89. Still would go on up. It did go past this resistance level at 117.29, and it has a gap over here that it looks like it might have filled it. There was a gap to fill from over here. From what, May 21st? That was a gap that needed filling, and the price action yesterday said, gone, dissipated, right? So that gap is not full. I marked it there so you all could see, but it's now full. Now know that when a gap gets filled, though, that could provide some resistance, because gap fills, gaps, the top and bottoms of gaps will do that. So if we're looking also here for some more resistance, we are coming, or actually at it. This candle, the wick kind of went up to it. 118.62 is an area that may provide some resistance. So you want to, if you're trading a call credit spread, a put credit spread, you want to look at that. Okay, short A, Tamar, gotcha. I was saying it right, and thank you. If I wasn't saying it right, I would have hoped you would have corrected me. I have some people who say my name, which I have two S's, so it's Arlissa. But there are people who will call me Arlisa, like they completely ignore the other S. No. And then sometimes I feel bad correcting people because they've been saying it wrong so long. But sometimes you just have to. You have to say, no, baby, I'm sorry. That's not it. I don't do that. I never do. By the way, I never correct people. Unless they say, am I saying it right? If they don't, I don't. I very rarely correct people. I just don't do it. If you're in Exxon and you want to get some more money off the other side, you actually could look at 119 or 120 as a call credit spread. You might be able to add on to that. 119 as a call credit spread. So a 120. I think 120. Let me change this to a bigger screen so everybody can see. Yet the other day, speaking of trend spreads, the other day, Peakbot entered an iron condor for me a couple of days ago. And with the drop, that one side was able to close, but now the other side is on live support. So if we're looking at 120 is an 85% probability out of the money. So we could look at, 120, 121. Maybe when the market opens, it'll provide more money, but right now it's showing $9. If you collected money from the other side, this would be fine because it means you would collect from both sides, 120, but you definitely would want to watch to see if there's some more movement that's anticipated. Let me go look to see how high it would potentially go. I think 119.75, it would stop, but you got a couple of resistances between current price and 120. Current price is at 117.53. It's kind of just chilling right there. It's hard to correct people. Especially again, the scenario and who you talk and who you're correcting. And I'm not some people are really like sticklers about the pronunciation of their names. I'm really not. So let's look at PanW. I've not met another Arlissa at this point. I think if I ever met a person who's named Arlissa, I would feel like we were kindred spirits. I promise I would. I would be like, your name is Arlissa. You're my long lost relative. I've met some Alissas, but that's not the same. So looks like PanW, this actionable signal inside down on the daily basically says there's an actionable signal going down some more. So that's a strat thingy. We do have resistance up here at 340. Come on, put the line there. Going on back down. But we are coming back into another gap. This is like PanW has been consolidating between these two supports, looks like. That's based on this setup over here on 520, and then you got some touches here on 528. It has touched in the same area in June, so we've got support there underneath the gap. So PanW actually might provide itself some an iron condor opportunity. Let's go see. 332, so it's probably a 2.5 spread. But let's see what it's got to offer. Yep, 2.5 spread. On the bottom, because it's an inside down. If I was going with a down, if I was going to get underneath it, I definitely would give it some room. So let's look at the call credit spread first. Plus minus 7 over here, plus minus 7 puts us at like 340, right? Once you add 7 and you got to get to the strike. 340 is 80% probability out of the money. Vertical 340, 342.5 is paying $40. Ah la la. Y'all know how I get when we get to writing stuff down. Okay, so Pan W on the call credit spread side, 340, 342.5 is there. And if you wanted to make it into an iron condor based on what we saw, I probably would go at least I would subtract my 7. Definitely would do that. So that puts us at like 325. I probably would go down to 322.5 at least. 322.5. Let me see, what does the open interest and stuff look like at these strikes? 320 has a bunch of, so we want to go below the big number? Isn't that what we talked about way back? It's been a while since we talked about that. So let's go with 320. Been a while since we talked about going beyond the big number. That's another $20. So if you did both sides with a 250 spread and collected $60, that's over 20% return on your money, right? 317, 320 is $20 more. Pan W has officially made it to the let's look at this list. Okay. Triple Q. Triple Q. So let's go to the chart first. Triple Q need to come on back cover. Oh, it's already starting a bit coming back because yesterday was ugly. Yesterday was ugly for a lot of places, not just Triple Q. It was ugly for a lot of places, but I still believe that a lot of this is manipulated. Manipulated. They manipulate this so that way they can pull everybody think of all those options contracts that have people been sitting in calls all this time, and while the prices go to all-time highs. Remember yesterday I talked to y'all about what did I call it? The pivot machine gun, where I told you how it goes stair-stepping up, 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 and then in one day it takes out all those gains. I talked about that yesterday morning. Up, 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 and then one day it goes shunk and takes out 4 days of gains. Then it tried to climb back up another couple of days and took out all those gains yesterday. And now these gains have taken out everything from all this whole run here. This whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has been nullified virtually by this drop between these last 4 or 5 days. That's what the pivot machine gun is. But basically, we stair step up and then it says, no, I'll just take all that back. And it takes all those gains right back off you. Yes, drop like that, make you trade 0 DTE. And especially if you can pick a stock. I mean, don't try to do too many things. But if you've got your trading plan, if you expand, if you've expanded your trading plan, it can include swing things. And then when the situation presents itself, it can include a 0 DTE. You just need to have a strategy that you're going to use in these moments. So don't be like winging it where somebody says, oh, everything's falling. You just jump in going all willy-nilly. Don't do that. You need to have taken some time to put together a strategy that you will use in situations like this, right? I traded very little yesterday, mainly because I was teaching. I'm giving my students a test today. So yesterday, my energy and all of my focus was on trying to make sure they were ready for their test. So all this was happening and I was, passing by, closing out my iron condor trades from the previous day that were almost at max loss. So that way I could say I had to be focused. Anyway, that's where we are. But we're coming up on the end of this here summer semester. I got 2 more weeks, and then I have vacation, and then I'll be back in the classroom the end of August, I think, something like that. I think it's the middle of August, not the end. Anyway, that's not important to y'all, is it? Y'all keep telling us all stuff. We don't care. we don't care, Alyssa. Okay, Triple Q has a gap that it will need to fill after today, and the current price is at 485. Current price at 485, so it is recovering out of this, yesterday, and it gone back into this gap. Remember, I always show you like 50% of the gap, which is where this stop was. This resistance is probably may provide some support, some resistance. Sorry, 492 may provide some resistance. That's what's going on. So if you're trading Triple Q, if you're trading it as a seller, I probably would still go with a put credit spread if you were sure. And if you're doing iron condors, like most of us are doing, you get on opposite sides of this gap, get above this gap and below this gap, you'll probably be, below the drop of this, not the gap. Get below this price from yesterday, the closing of yesterday of 481 and some change, and then go above the gap to 497. I'm not sure what kind of premiums you're going to get for a 1 DTE, but because that's a pretty wide range. You probably can also just go above the 492, but we also know that, Triple Q and SPX and SPY, they'll get moving and be moving like they did yesterday. This was basically downwards moving almost all day. Almost all day. And there, you notice there's no wick on the bottom of this, so there wasn't any buying pressure under there. Wasn't any buying, more selling pressure. The buyer stepped in and it stopped. So selling pressure is over. Maybe the buyers have come back and said, come on, cut it out. Enough already. What are we looking at? Gap, because Gap had earnings. Mm-mm-mm. 30 minutes. Come on. Fill in. What is taking you so long? Does Gap have a different ticker? This says Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company. That ain't who we want. Thanks, Tamar. Tamar said the 0 DTE course is awesome. Thanks to both of y'all. Appreciate that. Okay, I don't know. Okay. If anybody knows what the ticker is for Gap, you can let me know. Marvel is on the trends list. When I looked at the alerts yesterday, and today I checked yesterday's paper, Marvell is on there. Marvell Technology, which, I mean, what does Marvell do? It keeps showing up on this list, but I don't know what they do. Marvell, what do they do? It showed up though as a call credit spread. A put credit spread, and I don't see that at this point. Oh, this is a 30-minute chart. Let me go to the daily chart because it might look different. Yeah, but our alerts are going with the 67-day moving EMA, so it's not going to pick up on yet. It'll pull in today, but what's happening yesterday, not going to show. I thought the test was Friday. Their test is Thursday because we don't have class on Fridays. So their test is on Thursdays. I got something for them this time, though. Last time, I spent so much energy watching them fools, try not to keep them from cheating. I call them fools. I shouldn't have done that. Watching those students trying to cheat. I spent more energy on that, and that ain't the kind of energy I'm trying to spend for an hour. I want you to be focused on doing your work. So I got them this time. I've got tests, 2 different tests. Your neighbor's test will not look like yours. And if you decide you're copying off your neighbor, because when you think I'm not looking, y'all both going to be disappointed. Going to be disappointed. Yes. That was a big old candle. Marvel has to be a tech. Jamie, did you answer me on Marvel or Marvell? Hey, Pierre. Yeah, hey. Okay, now I can't really see. I have to go to a smaller time frame to see what's going on with Marvel and Marvel. It has to. We have to see what kind of recovery it's doing. It's currently at 69, so it's starting to recover. Even current price is at 69.65 in the pre-market, so it's pulling up in the pre-market. It's trying to pull back up, but I don't know if I trade Marvel. That big old red, that could be a nice exhaustion candle, but I don't like. I don't have the post-market and pre-market stuff on these charts because is it here? Nope, I think it's here. Show extended trading sessions. Because when I'm looking at, there it is. When I'm looking at stuff for the strat, it doesn't take into account the pre-market and post-market. It's only regular trading hours. They're strong in the data center space as well. Marvell is a semiconductor company with some specialized chips they work with. I saw something the other day that said that these domestic chip makers like Intel, and there was one other, that the domestic chip makers are going to possibly see some rise. Oh, that's a good idea. Are going to possibly see some rise with this whole stuff about tariffs and all, that the domestic chip makers like Intel and those others are probably going to see some, money is going to potentially shift into there, which is time. We need Intel to come on and join the party. It's time for Intel to come join the party. Okay. Yep, here, I don't create the tests. They're created for us by our department. So, but we have like 8 or 10 different versions. So I can use different versions, similar questions, but the numbers and stuff change. So it's easier that way. I could do what you've said too, just to have it to do different tests. I'm on a 30-minute chart, but I still don't see the pre-market and post-market. Let me see. I thought I turned that on. Equities, turn it on. Options, turn it on. Apply. Maybe it doesn't want to be here. On the 30-minute chart, I do see some support coming back out of this zone, the 67.9, and it's continued to rise up. Has anybody looked at Marvel or traded Marvel off of that, off the trend alerts list? Marvel has what's called system on a chip architecture, which is their moat. I don't know what a moat is as far as semiconductors, but sounds good. Let's go to something that's not tech. Alcoa. Is Alcoa not tech? I was thinking of AAL. Oh, excuse me. Alcoa is also on the trend spread alerts list. We got the 30-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Coming back out of this 36.95, it's currently at 37.01 in the pre-market. Look at this monster wick right here. That must have been earnings or something. Let's go to the daily chart. What time is it? It's 10 after. Yep, in the daily chart, we're right here coming out of the support. Going too fast. Come back, sweetheart. There we go. Coming back out of the 36.95. That's was yesterday's candles. Maybe it'll have a turnaround. I didn't have a ding pop up here. It sort of put all of the stocks on the trend spread alerts list are put credit spreads, probably because everything has fallen so much that everything's probably fallen right into a buy zone, a support area. Okay, PNC Bank, the banks, they didn't fall off the chain yesterday. They went right on their way. I need to look at Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson after earnings had some foolery happen. This is another, what I talk about this, all these green days. All these green days, they came right out the druthers. triple bottom, and then ran up. But you got to be watchful. And I do see some support where it kind of paused down at 168. It's currently at 176, so it's already pulling back off of this top number. 176.10, 180. Oh, the bid ask up here is huge. 176 to 180 is the bid ask spread. That's 3.9 points. That is too big. That's too big of a bid ask spread. I was trading, my Carvana was that way. Carvana had a big bid ask spread, and when I was trying to get back out, the exit was between $10 and $25. It's like, what? I'm buying back. So I had to put on what I wanted, where I wanted to buy back, but the spread was wide. Let's go look though at, let me do a smaller, because we may be able to, for a 1 day, you might be able to get you a ride down off of PNC. You see up here, we've got some resistance at the 180 point, and it fell off in the 30 minutes. Actionable signal going downwards. Let's go see 380 is the price, or 180. Let's put this on single. Did I cover everybody's stock who put something in the chat? I wanted to look at one more, BX. I don't know who they are or what they do, so maybe somebody can look for me and see who is BX. If you're doing PNC, they got plus minus 3, so go up to what, 182, I would. 182, 182.5. It's a 2.5 spread. 182.5, 185. $42 PNC is paying. That could be another. The 2.5s provide out some decent little money. You guys got to put a little more collateral on them. Oh, BX is Blackstone. They just had earnings. Oh, no, they are. Did they have earnings this morning? I think they did, which is why we've got this big pop here on Blackstone. But BX showed up on the alerts list as well. If this big old pop here is indicative of anything, then I'd probably ride back up into the gap that was created if you were going to ride. 132 on the bottom side, plus minus 5. The big numbers at 130, so 129, 130. It's currently another big bid ask spread between 132.75 and 134.50. I'm not a fan of that. Vertical 132. 131, 132 pays $25. If you wanted to go down to 130, which is the plus minus 4, that's paying $19. Those are both pretty good. Where is Taiwan Semiconductors in the? They're at 176. We'll take it. Come on, babies. Y'all can go. You can go. You can go. You can go. You can go on up and make my trade profitable, because I promise once it get above 177.5, I'm going to put in my close order. Definitely institutions taking the money. Definitely trying to do that. Making sure I'm not missing any comments. That 0 DTE is worth investigating, but it's something that you want to definitely make sure that your strategy is honed in. So you want to practice it in your sim as long as you need to. Okay, practice in your sim as long as you need to. All right, reminder once again, Credit Spreads Masterclass is coming up next week. This is all the stuff we're looking at, what to do, which strike to pick, how do we defend, all the what or what's, right? I decided yesterday, I had several trades that were getting breached by this humongous drop yesterday, but it was Wednesday. So I was like, okay, on one hand, my emotions wanted me to exit all those trades, basically lock in. It's 3. It ain't like all those. It's 3 trades. My emotions wanted me to exit those trades and lock in those losses. But then my mind said, it's Wednesday. You literally have 2 more days of price action to see what happens. Now, nothing may happen, but there's no reason. I decided to just give it a beat, which is another day. That was the beat. I decided to give it another day to see how would things recover with the trades that I had. My Taiwan Semiconductors, my Micron. I said, well, let's see how things recover. Let's just see what happens. So I waited. I'm going to wait. We'll see what Taiwan Semiconductor does and what Micron does. And then we'll exit without a knee jerk, right? Trading plan does say that we're exiting at 2x or 3x. Yes, but I also considered that we're a couple days away from expiration. So there is time. There is time. Micron has recovered by a couple dollars as well. Let's see if Amazon has recovered, Tanya. You said Amazon was at your strike. Amazon needed to get on and enjoy the Prime days like the rest of us. I decided too late last night that I should look at maybe investigate another webcam. I decided too late. And then I knew if I sent Jamie a message, he would take a long time to reply. Then he would want me to go do all this research stuff. And it was too late for that. And he would want to talk about specs and all the things. And I was like, nope, I don't want to do any of that. So I'm leaving it. So what happens when you talk to these tech people? They get all techie. And no, I didn't want all that. So I will say live and in living color, Jamie, if you want to do some research for me, another camera, I'm open to talk about it now. But last night when I was doing it, you weren't even in the conversation. This was the whole conversation I had on my own. Didn't even include you. But in my head, I could just hear all the questions that you were going to ask. And I was like, no, I don't have the mental energy for that. I just wanted to look at cameras. And I just said, so then now I said, I'll ask him about it later because last night wasn't the time. Even though Prime Days ended yesterday. So I really should have looked at it earlier. I'm okay at this point. So if we find something, then we're good. Anyway, Tanya, your price now is between 189 and 190. So depending on where your strike is, it might be up and you might be okay this morning. Okay. Might be okay this morning. Yeah, techies get techie and it'd be too much. This is our list for the week. I haven't even looked at where our prices are this week as far as our option sellers trade idea list is. I don't really know. I hadn't gone to check. I checked that at the end of the week, right? Charting checklist, chart your way to 100K. You can go to chartyourway to100K.com. Oh, Tanya, you might be okay. Of course, last week we had 8 out of 12 profitable trades. Those were the trades I had. I needed to rearrange this. This is what the example of the alerts looks like. If you're looking to do alerts from Peakbot, that's an example of what they look like. Options 411 is a nice little intro to options for anybody who's interested in doing that. Educatortotrader.com. You can grab this for $17. Options 411, 17 ... intro to options. $17 at Educator. All of my stuff is at educatortotrader.com. So anytime you're looking for something from me, that's where you can find it at educatortotrader.com. This options 411 is like a little mini course. Even though it's mini, it's actually, to be honest, it's worth more than $17. Obviously, it's worth more than $17. But I wanted to be able to offer a good intro to options and option selling at a low price point, a low barrier, so that folks could come in and see if it's something you're interested in going further in. Because you might decide after watching the videos that this ain't for you or option selling ain't for you. And I wanted you to have learned that without putting a lot of money on the line to find out something ain't for you. Are you ready to use the market to generate consistent incomes? You need to join the E2T membership. This evening, we will have our call. We're going to talk indicators again this evening and trade ideas for next week. We're going to talk about that. Trade ideas for next week and indicators is what we're going to talk about tonight. So if you're already in the membership, you can see me this evening at 7. I believe we do 7 o'clock. And if you're in the Chart Your Way to 100K, little 4 weeks of training, then you can also plan to see me there. I may run that again. I'm deciding what I'm going to run again. Am I going to run that after the master class, after the credit spreads master class, or am I going to do another options 411 6-week process? I got to see which one I'm going to run. Which one, what will we run? And maybe we'll do it in like options 411, boom, boom. Then we go deeper into charting. Then we'll go on into, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really feel like people do need charting more than some of the other things, but I'm feeling like some people don't think, or take it back. People know they need charting, but they're not willing to invest the time and energy into what they need to do for proper charting. I do feel like people do need to chart, and many of them know they need to learn charting, but that next step into actually doing it is where there's the thing, right? There has to be that you have to know that that's what you need. So our trader's declaration: I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts grow more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. That's a good question. That's a good point, Saida. I can put a poll. That'll be really good. That way we'll know who what the interest level is for what. Lord, that you gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, 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 amen. All right. We're about 5-7 minutes away from the market opening, so I want to go ahead and let us all go. It's been wonderful hanging out with y'all every morning. I enjoyed this. I hope you all feel my energy and that you can feel the fun time that I have. And I appreciate you for spending your time with me. All right. Be sure to like, subscribe, put the thumb up, put the notification bell, come over to educatortotrader.com, see what products I have over there. Follow me on all the social media places. If you want to do credit spreads, then go ahead and join the Vertical Credit Spreads Masterclass. All righty. I want you all to have a great trading day. We're going to stay green and we're going to get this money. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.